Guys, want to know a secret that women will never admit to you directly? There's a map of the female body, strategic zones that when you touch them during a hug, something ignites inside us. And no, I'm not talking about the obvious places you're thinking about right now, you pervs. I'm talking about 15 points that activate our brain chemistry, that make us feel butterflies in our stomach, and that can make a woman go from seeing you as just another buddy to seeing you as an irresistible man. Stay until the end, because number 12 is so damn powerful that when you discover it, you're going to want to run out and try it. And I'll tell you something. It has to do with something so simple that you've been doing wrong your whole life. Ready? Let's go, my loves. Hello, my sweets. Welcome to another video where your friend tells you all the secrets that women don't want you to know. But I'm going to tell you anyway, because I love seeing you succeed. If you're new here, I'm your name. And on this channel, we talk without beating around the bush about what really goes through a woman's mind when a man touches her, looks at her, or hugs her. No bullshit, no weird theories, just the straight truth from someone who knows exactly what a woman feels in every situation. Look, guys, every day you write me hundreds of messages asking me the same thing. How can I touch her without seeming like a pervert? How do I break that physical barrier without screwing it up? Why, when I hug her, do I feel like nothing's happening? And the answer is very simple, darlings. Either you're too cowardly and don't touch anything at all, staying in the friend zone forever and ever, amen, or you're too forward and you scare her like you're an octopus at a club. Sound familiar? Yeah, I know it does. But today, my dears, today you're going to learn exactly where to put your little hands during a hug, so she feels that electric current that makes her think, damn, this guy is different. And when I say hug, I'm not talking about that shitty hug you give your grandma or your buddy after soccer. I'm talking about those hugs that happen when you're trying to win over a woman, when there's sexual tension, when she's already looking at you in that special way. You get the difference? Before we start, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like if you want me to keep telling you all these secrets that women jealously guard. And leave me a comment telling me what your biggest question is about physical contact with women, because I read each and every one of your comments, my loves. Oh, and have paper and pen ready for number 7, because when I tell you, you're going to flip out so much you'll need to write it down. Ready? So get mentally naked and let's get to it. Okay, let's start with the classic that never fails, guys. The lower back area, meaning the lower part of the back, just above the butt but without actually touching it. Okay? That magical zone that when a guy puts his hand there, we automatically feel like he's protecting us, that he's masculine, that he has control of the situation in a way that really turns us on. You know why it works so well? Because it's an area we culturally associate with male dominance, but in an elegant way, not like a caveman. Imagine this. You're hugging that girl you like. She puts her arms around your neck or on your shoulders, and you, instead of letting your hands hang like hams or putting them awkwardly on her waist way up high, you place them firmly on her lower back. Firmly but without squeezing like you're kneading bread, okay? The right amount of pressure that says, I've got you, I'm here, I'm a man who knows what he's doing. That hand there sends a direct message to her primitive brain that says, this guy could pin me against the wall right now if he wanted. And believe me, guys, we love that, even though we don't say it. But heads up, my dears, the hand stays there, in the lower back area. Don't get creative going down toward the butt on the first hug, because then you go from heartthrob to asshole in 0.2 seconds. The butt is earned, not assaulted. Got it? Practice this. Put your hand in that zone with confidence, like you have every right in the world to be there because she's invited you into that space with the hug, and you'll see how she automatically presses closer to you. It's pure physics, darlings. It's chemistry. It's magic. And best of all, it's super easy to do, and doesn't come off as invasive if there's a minimum of interest on her part. Now let's go with one that most of you completely ignore because you think it's not sexy, but you're wrong, my loves. The center of the back, between the shoulder blades, that area that's there in the middle like no man's land. You know what happens when a guy puts his hand right there during a hug? We feel emotional security, protection, like we're taking refuge in your chest and you're telling us without words, relax, you're safe with me. It's the comfort touch. The touch that says, I don't just want to sleep with you, I also care about you. And yes, guys, even though it seems weird to you, that combination of sexual interest with emotional care is what makes a woman think, damn, this guy could be more than a one-night stand. Picture it. She's having a shitty day. She tells you something that affected her, and you hug her, putting your hand firm but caring in the center of her back. That hug tells her, I'm here, lean on me, you're not alone. And I promise you, my dears, that type of hug creates such a deep connection that she's going to associate being with you with feeling good, safe, cared for. And you know what women want? We want to feel like that, damn it. We want a guy who's strong but sensitive, who knows when to be the alpha male and when to be emotional support. This touch is perfect for calmer moments, when you're chatting on a couch and a natural hug comes up, when she comes to you seeking comfort. Don't underestimate it thinking it's too friend-like, because I assure you it's exactly that balance between friend and lover that drives us crazy. Plus, this area of the back is less obvious than the lower back, so you can use it in earlier stages of the conquest without seeming too bold. It's like the appetizer before the main course, you know what I'm saying? Okay, get ready because this is one of the most powerful on the list, and if you do it right, you've got her eating out of your hand. Literally. The nape, guys. The fucking nape. That area where the hair ends and the neck begins, where we have a ton of nerve endings waiting for someone who knows what they're doing to activate them. When a guy during an intimate hug slides his hand from the back upward and his fingers reach the base of my neck, my nape, and grabs it gently like it's something precious, but with enough strength for me to feel he has control. Damn, guys. That's when I get goosebumps and I feel a shiver that runs down my entire spine. Why? Because the nape is one of the most vulnerable areas of our body. It's where a predator would attack you in nature. So when we allow a man to touch it, we're giving him a brutal level of trust and submission. And yes, as much as we're modern and independent women, that dynamic of sexual power really turns us on when it's with the right man. But watch out. This isn't for the first hug, okay? This is for when there's already obvious chemistry, when you've already had previous physical contact, when you've already devoured each other with your eyes 1,000 times. At that moment, when you hug her, and your hand slowly goes up her back until it reaches her nape, when you grab it with that perfect mix of tenderness and possessiveness, when you maybe even sink your fingers a little into her hair, there she's already melted. There she's already thinking about your lips. There she's already wishing you'd make the next move. And many times, after this touch, the kiss comes almost inevitably, because the sexual tension created is unbearable. Try it, but with judgment, with timing, with a woman who's already shown clear interest. Now a simpler one so you don't get overwhelmed, my dears. The shoulder. Super easy, super natural, and works wonderfully, especially at the beginning of getting to know someone. When you hug a girl and leave your hand resting on her shoulder, with a small, gentle squeeze, you're transmitting confidence, complicity, support. It's like saying, hey, we're a team, I'm with you. It's not the sexiest touch in the world, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, but it's perfect for creating that foundation of physical contact you need before advancing to more intense things. Think of it like building a house. You can't put the roof on before making the foundation, right? Well, this is the same thing. The shoulder is a foundation. It's a safe zone. It's a place where you can touch her without her feeling invaded or pressured. Plus, it works great in group contexts, like when you're with friends and she tells something funny or something that moves her, and you hug her from the side and squeeze her shoulder like saying, "Girl, you're awesome." That creates complicity, closeness, emotional connection. And although it seems like a small thing, I assure you that we register every physical contact, every time you touch us, and we're evaluating whether we like it or not, whether we feel comfortable with you or not. A hug with your hand on the shoulder tells us you're close, guys, accessible, trustworthy, and that foundation is fundamental before trying more daring touches. So don't look down on it, use it frequently in the early stages, combine it with smiles, with eye contact, with interesting conversations, and you'll see how she starts to seek more physical contact with you. It's like planting a seed that's going to grow later, you get it? This is one of those subtle touches that seem silly but have a brutal impact, guys. The outer side of the arm, that external part from the shoulder to about the elbow. Imagine you're hugging that girl who drives you crazy. You're there with your bodies pressed together, and instead of leaving your hands static on her back like two mushrooms, you gently slide one hand along the side of her arm up and down, very slowly, almost like an unconscious caress. Damn, that simple movement activates a ton of sensations in us. It's a touch that says, I love the texture of your skin, I like feeling you, I want to explore your body, but I'm going to do it little by little. It's sensual without being invasive. It's sexy without being crude. It's perfect for creating anticipation. Because that's what really turns a woman on, my loves. Anticipation, foreplay, that I'm dying to know what he's going to do now. When you slide your hand along our arm like that, gently, creating that constant friction, our brain starts to imagine what it would be like if that hand traveled other parts of our body. It's like a preview, a trailer of what could come. And the best part is, it's super easy to do naturally during a long hug, like those hugs you give when you're saying goodbye after a good date, and neither of you wants to let go. That's when this touch shines. When the hug extends a few seconds longer than normal, and you start that hypnotic up and down movement on her arm. She's going to feel every inch of that journey. I guarantee it. And if on top of that, you bring your face close to her neck without actually touching it, just creating that closeness, that warmth. Wow. There you've got her in the bag, guys. Ah, the waist. The classic of classics. The touch that says, this isn't a buddy hug. This is a hug from a guy who wants something more with you. When a man puts his hands on my waist during a hug, the message is crystal clear. There's romantic interest. There's sexual attraction. There's intention to conquer. There's no possible ambiguity, you know? And that, my dears, is exactly what we women need to know. We're not misinterpreting the signals. Because one of the things that stresses us out the most is not knowing if a guy is going for friend or boyfriend, and the waist touch makes things very, very clear. It's like you're planting a flag that says, this woman interests me and I want her to know it. Now, there are ways and ways to grab the waist, okay? It's not the same to put your hands there like they're butcher hooks as doing it with intention, with firmness, but with delicacy. Your hands should wrap around her waist like you're holding something valuable, something you want to keep close. Fingers slightly separated, palms flat against her body, enough pressure for her to feel you're really there but without squeezing her like she's a tube of toothpaste. And here comes a trick that's going to blow your mind. When you have your hands on her waist, move your thumbs very subtly, making small circles or caressing movements. That minimal detail makes the difference between a correct touch and a touch that makes her sigh. The waist is perfect for frontal hugs, for those moments when you're saying goodbye after a date, for when you're dancing together, for when there's that obvious connection and you both know something's happening. Use it without fear, guys, but make sure she's already given you clear signals of interest, because if not, it can seem too direct too soon. Okay, we get to number 7, and here I need you to pay maximum attention, because this is advanced territory. This is Champions League of seduction. It's not for beginners or to use at any moment. Are you listening to me? The hip, the waistline, that area that's right between the waist and the butt, that perfect curve of the female body. When a guy puts his hands there during a hug, damn, it's intense. It's sexual. It's a brutally clear declaration of intentions. We're talking about an important level of physical intimacy. So this only works when you already have an established connection, when there have already been kisses, when there's already a sexual relationship or it's about to happen. If you try this on a first date or with a girl who barely knows you, you're going to get slapped so hard they'll hear it in China. Got it. But in the right context, with the right woman, at the right moment, this touch is pure dynamite. Imagine, you're hugging her, you've already been physically flirting, you've already made out intensely, and she presses against you in that way that means, I want you. That's when your hands can go down from her waist to her hips, grabbing her firmly, pulling her toward you, eliminating any space between your bodies. That grip says, I want you here, pressed against me. I want to feel every curve of your body against mine. It's dominant, it's possessive, it's incredibly exciting when done right. The key is in the firmness. It's not a timid or hesitant touch. It's decisive, confident, like you have every right in the world to have your hands there because she's given it to you. And normally, after this type of hug and this type of touch, what's next is the bedroom because the sexual tension created is unsustainable. But remember, my loves, timing is everything. This touch out of context makes you creeps. This touch at the perfect moment makes you irresistible. Oh, the hair, guys. Hair is our weak point, and most of you have no fucking clue how powerful this resource is. When you're hugging a woman intimately, closely, and you slide your fingers through her hair, from root to tips, or simply sink your hand into her mane and caress it, it's like you hypnotize us. You know that feeling when you go to the salon, and someone washes your hair massaging your scalp, and you're left there like in a trance? Well, this is similar, but multiplied by 1,000, because it comes from the man we like, who attracts us, who drives us crazy. It's such an intimate gesture, so personal, so caring, but at the same time so sensual that it melts us completely. There's something deeply primitive about a man touching our hair. It's like a mix between tenderness and possessiveness that activates all our sensors. Plus, hair is full of nerve endings, and when you stimulate them with your fingers, you send direct signals to our brain of pleasure and relaxation. It's like a sensual massage incorporated into a hug. Now, this has to be done delicately, okay? You're not tossing a salad or untangling cables. You're caressing a woman's hair. Smooth, slow movements, appreciating the texture. If she has long hair, you can let it slide between your fingers like it's silk. If it's short, you can gently massage her nape while running your hand over her head. This touch works especially well in prolonged hugs, when you're lying together on a couch or in bed, when there's closeness and time to enjoy the contact. And I'm going to tell you a woman's secret. When a guy caresses our hair in that special way, we automatically feel cared for, desired, adored. And that combination, guys, that fucking combination of feeling sexually desired, but also emotionally cared for, that's where you win the game. This one, my loves, is the touch before the kiss, the anteroom to the magical moment, the movement that announces something big is about to happen. When you're hugging a woman frontally, very close to each other, and you bring your hand to her face, cupping her cheek, brushing her jawline with your thumb, damn, that's the moment when time stops. Look me in the eyes when I tell you this. If you make this movement correctly, it's almost impossible for her not to want to kiss you. Why? Because it's a gesture that has brutal romantic and sexual charge. You're touching her face, the most personal, most intimate part of her body, after her private areas. You're telling her without words, you're beautiful. I want to look at you up close. I want to memorize every detail of your face before I kiss you. It's a touch that goes in slow motion in movies because it has that magic, that intensity. When a guy does this, we know exactly what's coming next, and our heart starts racing. Our lips automatically part. Our whole body prepares for that kiss that's about to arrive. But here's the trick, guys, and it's important. This movement has to be accompanied by eye contact. You can't touch her face and be looking at the ground or to the side like an idiot. You have to look her in the eyes with intensity, then briefly lower your gaze to her lips, so she knows exactly what you're thinking, and then return to her eyes. That eye-lips-eye triangulation is the perfect sequence that precedes a movie-worthy kiss. And while you do that, your hand holds her face with delicacy, but with security, perhaps caressing her cheek with your thumb in small movements. This is one of those moments where less is more. You don't need to talk. You don't need to force anything. Simply hold her face, look at her like she's the most beautiful woman in the world, and let the magic do the rest. I promise you that if there's chemistry between you, that kiss is going to be spectacular. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now we're really getting into hot territory, my dears. The side of the neck, that perfect line that goes from below our ear to our shoulder, is one of the primary erogenous zones of the female body. And when I say erogenous, I mean that touching it excites us directly. No beating around the bush. It's almost like a direct button connected to our libido. But this, obviously, isn't for any moment or any context, are we clear? This is for when there's already real intimacy, when you've already kissed, when there's already a relationship or at least a clear thing going on. In that context, when you're hugging very close, face to face, and you slowly slide your hand from her shoulder to her side neck, brushing that sensitive skin with your fingertips or with your whole palm. Wow, there all the hairs on our body stand up. We feel a shiver that goes straight down to our lower belly, and our breathing automatically accelerates. The neck is vulnerable, it's intimate, it's personal. Letting a man touch it means we trust him. We feel safe with him. It excites us to be close to him. And when you caress it the right way, soft but with intention, slowly savoring the moment, maybe even bringing your face close to that area while your hand is touching it. Damn, it's like lighting a fire. Many times after touching a woman's neck like this, what naturally follows is kissing it. And I assure you a kiss on the neck can be more exciting than a kiss on the mouth if done right. But again, guys, this is expert level, not for beginners. If you try this with a girl who's not clearly interested in you sexually, you're going to make her very uncomfortable. But with the right woman, at the right moment, touching her neck during an intimate hug is like pressing the on button of her desire. Use it wisely. Now, One that many of you are going to underestimate, but that's pure gold, especially for creating emotional connection in addition to physical. The trapezius area, which is that big muscle that goes from the neck to the shoulders. You know where we women accumulate all the tension of the day, work, stress, right there. And if during a long, relaxed hug, you start to gently massage that area with your hands, with your thumbs making small pressure circles, guys, it's like winning gold points. Because not only is it physically pleasant and helps us relax, but it also transmits that you're attentive, that you care about our well-being, that you don't only think about yourself and your pleasure. And that, my loves, is super attractive. One thing is to be a guy who knows how to touch to excite us, and quite another is to be a guy who knows how to touch to make us feel good in every sense. The combination of both is lethal. It's what converts a one-night stand into something we want to repeat 1,000 more times. This type of touch is perfect for calmer moments, like when you're watching a movie together and she's leaning against you, or when you're chatting after having sex and you're there hugging in happy post-coital mode. That's when you can start massaging her trapezius while you have her in your arms, and she's going to literally melt. She's going to sigh. She's going to relax completely against you. She's going to feel like you're taking care of her. And I promise you, that type of gesture makes us fall in love as much or more than the sexual ones. Because in the end, guys, what differentiates an average guy from a guy who has us completely hooked is that ability to combine passion with tenderness, sex with affection, excitement with care. So don't overlook this touch thinking it's too innocent or not sexy enough. It's exactly that mix that drives us crazy. Here it is, number 12 that I promised you at the beginning, the most powerful of all, even though it might not seem like it. Want to know what the most romantic, most connecting, most emotionally intense touch you can make during or after a hug is? Taking her fucking hand. Yes, that's simple and that devastatingly effective. When you're hugging a woman and as you separate a bit or even while you're still hugging, you intertwine your fingers with hers. You take her hand and hold it like it's the most precious thing in the world. Damn, that reaches our soul, guys. Because holding hands is a gesture that goes beyond sexual desire. It's a gesture that speaks of real connection, of wanting to be united, of not wanting to let her go. It's romantic in the purest sense of the word. You know how many guys nowadays know how to fuck, but don't know how to hold our hand in a meaningful way? Most of them. And that's why when one appears who does, who after a nice hug doesn't let us go but takes our hand and keeps it between his, who walks down the street with our hand firmly held, who while we're sitting together caresses our fingers one by one, that guy differentiates himself from the rest. That guy really wins us over. There's something deeply intimate about hand-to-hand contact. It's skin with skin. It's your fingerprint against ours. It's your warmth transferring to ours. And when you do it right, with that mix of firmness and delicacy, when you caress our knuckles with your thumb, when you play with our fingers without even realizing it, because you simply like feeling them, that's when we think, shit, I really like this guy. This is more than physical attraction. Holding hands is the bridge between the physical and emotional. It's what converts an adventure into something with potential to be more. So yes, after a hug, take her hand, and don't let it go right away. Stay there a few extra seconds. Look at her, smile at her, have that moment of connection. And if you're walking together after the hug, keep her hand in yours. It seems silly, but I assure you, for everything I am, that gesture melts our heart more than any sexual touch. We return to basics with one that's super useful for the early stages of seduction, when you're still feeling out the terrain and don't want to scare her by being too intense too soon. The forearm, that area of the arm that goes from the elbow to the wrist. When you're hugging a girl casually or semi-intimately and you slide your hand along her forearm up and down, you're creating physical contact in a way that's not threatening, but does establish closeness. It's like saying, I like touching you, I feel comfortable with you, let's see where this takes us. It's an exploratory, tentative touch that tests the waters. And that's why it works so well at the beginning, because you're not pressuring her, but you are making it clear there's physical interest. Plus, the forearm is an area that's almost never touched in non-romantic contexts, so when a guy does it, we know there's something more there, that it's not just a friend hug. It's subtle, but effective. Imagine, you've met up with that girl you like, you've been chatting great, a natural hug comes up when saying goodbye or meeting up, and while you're there hugging, you let your hand travel from her back to her arm, and then go down caressing her forearm until almost reaching her hand. That journey, although it seems insignificant, is telling her, I like you, I want more contact with you, I feel like touching you. And if she doesn't pull away, if she stays there enjoying that friction, if she even brings her arm closer to your hand, congratulations, guys. You have a green light to keep advancing. The forearm is your ally on first dates. In those moments of uncertainty where you don't know if she's as interested as you are, it's a way to communicate interest without risking too much. Use it as a thermometer. If she responds positively to this touch, you can go for bolder touches. If she tenses or pulls away, maybe you need to go slower or accept there's no chemistry. Another classic that never fails, and that's perfect for any phase of the relationship, the upper back, just below the shoulders, in that wide area between the upper shoulder blades. This is the safe touch, the one you can use when you're not sure how far you can go, the one that works both on a first date and after being together for years. It's versatile. You get it? When you hug a woman with your hands in this area, you're creating an enveloping hug that makes us feel protected but not pressured, cared for but not suffocated. It's like a bear hug, but in romantic version. It works especially well for long hugs, those where neither of you is in a hurry to separate. Your hands can be there firm and stable, or you can move them slightly caressing side to side, creating that gentle swaying that good hugs have. It's comforting, warm, safe. It's not the sexiest hug of all, but it's solid, generates trust, makes us feel good with you. And many times, that's exactly what we need. We're not always looking for excitement. Sometimes we simply want to feel like we're with someone who hugs us well, who makes us feel safe. This touch is the wild card you can always use. If you're in public and want to hug her, but without seeming too obvious or sexual, this is your spot. If she's sad and needs comfort, this is your spot. If you're getting to know her and want a hug that says, I really like you without pressuring, this is your spot. It's like the default hug you should master before trying any of the more advanced ones. And mastering it means knowing how much pressure to apply, how long to maintain it, how to make it feel natural and not forced. Practice it. Seriously. A good basic hug with hands on the upper back can be better than an awkward hug trying to touch more intimate areas. And we get to the last one, my loves. And this isn't so much a specific place, but an action, a movement that encompasses everything I've been telling you. After placing your hands in any of the zones we've seen, after establishing that initial contact, comes the moment to pull her closer to you, to eliminate any space left between your bodies, to attract her firmly but gently until her body is completely pressed against yours. That movement, guys, that gesture of I want to have you closer, is what transforms a correct hug into an unforgettable hug. Because I'm going to tell you something. Most men hug like they're afraid to do it for real, like they want to maintain a safety distance, like they're hugging a cactus. And that, guys, that's a monumental fuck-up. When you hug a woman you like, who attracts you, with whom there's chemistry, you have to hug her for real. You have to pull her toward you decisively, without doubts, without fear. Your hands, wherever they're placed, should gently pull her toward your body, should eliminate that uncomfortable space that sometimes remains between two people hugging. We want to feel your chest against our chest, your heart beating close to ours, your breath in our hair or on our neck. We want that enveloping, complete, total hug, where we feel small against you, where we perceive your strength, your masculinity, your desire. And when you make that movement of pulling us closer, when your hands press on our back or waist or wherever they're placed to stick us more to you, damn, that's when we feel you really desire us, that you're not simply fulfilling a social hug, but you want to have us close. It's dominant, without being aggressive. It's confident without being arrogant. It's perfect when done with the right intention. So remember, any hug you give, in any of the situations we've seen, should always end with that movement of pulling her closer to you. It's like the period at the end of the sentence, the cherry on top of the cake, what makes the hug go from being good to being spectacular. Okay, guys, we've reached the point where I need you to pay absolute attention, because what I'm going to say now is fundamental. It's non-negotiable. It has no exceptions. Everything I've told you in this video, all these touches, all these tricks, all these strategic zones, only, and I repeat, only work when there's mutual interest, when there's reciprocity, when she also wants that contact with you. Are you hearing me clearly? First and most important, context is absolutely everything. You can't go around the street hugging random women and touching them in these places thinking they're going to fall for you. That's not seduction, that's harassment, and it's unacceptable. These touches are for situations where there's already an established connection, where you're in a mutual conquest process, where she's demonstrated interest in you with her body language, with her words, with her actions. If a girl gets tense when you touch her, if she pulls away, if her body stiffens, if she puts physical distance between you, that's a no as big as a cathedral. And when a woman says no, whether with words or with her body, you stop immediately. There are no buts, no, maybe if I insist, no, maybe she's playing hard to get. No means no, period. Second, these touches are progressive, scaled, gradual. You don't go from 0 to 100 in 2 minutes. You don't go from meeting a girl to touching her neck and hip on the first hug. That's idiotic and predatory. You start with the softer touches, more socially accepted, the shoulder, the upper back, the arm, and as there's more connection, more dates, more trust, more clear signals of interest on her part, then you can advance toward more intimate touches. It's like climbing stairs. You don't jump from the first step to the 10th, you go up step by step. Third, learn to read body language, damn it. If she leans toward you during the hug, if she sighs relaxedly, if she puts her hands on your chest or around your neck, if she closes her eyes, if she smiles, if her breathing changes, those are positive signals telling you, keep going, I like it. But if she tenses, if she keeps her arms rigid, if she avoids eye contact, if she tries to let go quickly, if her face shows discomfort, those are stop signals. You're making me uncomfortable. And you have to be able to distinguish between them and act accordingly. Fourth, and this is super important, consent is not assumed, it's verified. Not because a girl agreed to go out with you, or because she kissed you before, or because there's been previous physical contact, means you can touch her however you want at any time. Each interaction is new. Each hug requires her to be comfortable with what's happening. And if at any moment you have doubts, ask. There's nothing unmasculine or unsexy about asking, can I hug you? Or, does it bother you if... In fact, it's exactly the opposite. It's sexy, it's respectful, it's from guys who know what they're doing and who care about the other person's well-being. And lastly, everything I've told you are tools, not weapons. They're ways to create genuine connection with a woman you like and who also feels something for you. They're not tricks to manipulate, they're not techniques to force situations, they're not shortcuts to skip consent. If that's what you're looking for, this isn't your channel and you can stop following me right now. Here we talk about healthy seduction, mutual attraction, relationships where both parties are enjoying and wanting what's happening. If you don't understand that, you have a much bigger problem than not knowing where to put your hands during a hug. Well, my dears, what did you think? Did everything I told you blow your mind? I hope so. I hope you learned a ton, and that above all you understood that touching a woman during a hug is an art, not an exact science. It requires sensitivity, requires paying attention to her, requires respect and consent. Always, always, always. Now I want you to do something for me. Leave me in the comments which of these 15 places surprised you the most, which you didn't know, which you're going to try next time you hug that special girl you have in mind. I want to read all your experiences, all your doubts, all your stories. And if you have any specific question about physical contact, about seduction, about female psychology, ask me freely, and I'll respond to all of you. If this video helped you, if you learned something new, if you think it can help some buddy of yours who's a disaster with women, then do me a huge favor. Hit the like, share it, and of course subscribe to the channel because every week I upload new content revealing all the secrets that women don't want you to know, but that I tell you anyway, because I like you guys. And for those who want to go one step further, for those who really want to master the art of seduction and female attraction, I've prepared a complete course where I go deeper into all this and much more. How to create sexual tension. How to read a woman's body language to know exactly what she's thinking. How to kiss in a way that leaves her wanting more. How to be the type of man women chase instead of having to chase them yourself. The link is in the video description. Check it out because I really think it can completely change your life with women. And remember one thing, my loves. Seduction isn't about cheap tricks or manipulation. It's about becoming the best version of yourselves. A man who knows what he wants, who treats women with respect but without being a doormat, who has confidence in himself but without being arrogant, who knows when to be tender and when to be dominant. That balance, guys, that balance is what drives us completely crazy. So nothing, practice those hugs, touch with intention and respect, and above all, enjoy the process of winning over that woman who has you going crazy. You know what the sexiest thing of all is? A guy who truly enjoys being with us, who's not thinking about the next technique he has to apply but is simply present, attentive, really connecting. Be that guy. A huge kiss for everyone. I'm waiting for your comments. And see you in the next video, where I'm going to tell you something that's going to leave you speechless. The 10 things that make men irresistible in bed according to women. And I'll tell you that number 3 has nothing to do with size or duration, so stay tuned. See you soon, sweets. And remember, hug well, touch better, and always respect. Mwah.